Hi guys, it's Sharon from Spicy Top Foods, and today we are going to do an amazing spicy mac and cheese. Now, you've never had mac and cheese like this ever in your life, and this is going to be fantastic. So we're going to start by showing you what ingredients we have today. Okay, so we've got peppers, thyme, cheese, but I'm going to run through all the ingredients as we go along. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with our peppers. Okay, so I'm going to add a small amount of butter to the pan. Okay, so a little knob of butter there, and we're just going to get a tiny little bit of oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. I don't tend to cook with a lot of this, but I'm just going to use a little drop just so that the butter doesn't burn. But you can use any oil you want, rapeseed oil, if you like, whatever your preference is. So we're going to add half of a pepper. I'm using yellow, it can be orange or red, whatever colour takes your fancy. So I've already pre-chopped that up to save time. So I'm going to add that to the pan. Okay. And then I'm also going to add a few sprigs of green onion, okay, about that amount, so maybe 2 or 3. And as I said before, I've chopped them up already, so just going to add those to the pan right now. Okay, give a little stir. And what we want to do is just want to soften the vegetables. All right. I'm going to also add the seasonings at this time because I want them to cook through. I've got some paprika, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of paprika. I'm also going to add a teaspoon, or half a teaspoon rather, of my jerk marinade. Now, if you keep watching and subscribe to me, I'll show you how to make that another time. But any jerk marinade will do, just a small amount, just to give it a little kick. And I'm also going to add some green pesto, okay? As I said, you've never had a mac and cheese like this before in your life. A spoon there, just going to add that to the mixture. And I'm going to give that a stir. Now what I'm going to do is let that soften, and then I shall be back. Hi, so if you have a look at the pan here, you can see now that the vegetables are softened, and that's taken just a few minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes to soften up. You don't want to, overcook them because they're going to go in the oven as well. Okay, and what I wanted to say was as well, I've already pre-cooked some pasta in the pan there, just to speed up the time. Now you can use macaroni, you can use pasta shells, you can use whatever pasta you like. Okay, it doesn't have to be macaroni. Alright, and I've also pre-warmed 500 mils of semi-skimmed milk. Now you can use skimmed milk, almond milk, soya milk, any milk that you fancy. That will be just fine. So that's 500 mils there, and the pasta was 400 grams of pasta. Okay, so now I'm going to add the flour to the vegetables, because this is going to help the sauce to thicken. Okay, so I'm going to add a spoon, I'm going to add 2 spoons of just regular flour to the mixture there. I'm going to give that a little mix. I'm going to make sure that heat's not too high. Okay, so now as you can see, that has gone quite thick. Alright, now we want to cook out the flour just for a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add a little of the milk at a time to the onions and the pepper mixture with the flour that's now cooked in. Okay, so a little bit at a time, and because the milk is warm, it's going to help us to cook this sauce nice and quickly. Okay, so as you can see, it's making a ball. What you don't want to do is to pour too much milk in at a time, because the mixture will be lumpy. You don't want lumpy cheese sauce. Okay, so we're going to keep that going. All right, a little bit more here. All right, okay, is that looking good so far? Yeah, you liking that? It's going to taste absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to carry on, mix all that milk in very slowly until we get a nice loose sauce. So we'll be back. Okay, so we're back and just got the last little bit of milk to put in. You want to take a look at that. And as you can see, we've got a lovely thin consistency. And then add the last little bit there. We're going to let that warm through. Just going to turn the heat up just slightly. You can just stay on the pan now and you can have a look at that. Okay, so we're going to now add the cheese. I've just got some regular cheddar cheese. It's I've just used a lighter variety because I just like that. Okay, so I've got some light mature cheese. I've also got some soft cheese. This one it's just a plain soft cheese. This one here, sorry, beg your pardon, this one's not plain, I've got the lids mixed up. This one is garlic and herbs, okay, and that's what I'm going to use. You can also use the plain one, or you can use the one with the garlic in, it's up to you, but I'm going to use garlic and herbs. Alright, now there's half of a tub left, and this is a 200-gram tub, so 100 grams of the soft cheese is going to go into the pan. Alright, so if you have a look at the pan now, please. So we're going to drop that in, and what we're going to do is just mix that in slowly. We're just going to turn that heat off, because what we don't want is for the cheese to curdle, because if you have the heat too high, so as I was saying, you don't really want the mixture to curdle. So once the milk and the flour is cooked out, you can then turn off the heat, and then you're going to add your cheese. Now I've got 200 grams of cheddar cheese, as I said before, and I've also got just a small piece, about the size of that, of the Parmesan. Okay, that's the one I get, Parmesan cheese, and that just gives it a nice flavour, a nice, sharp taste. Okay, so I'm going to add those. Now I'm just taking out these chunks, because what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to break up some of the chunks into the mixture, and that gives the mac and cheese a lovely texture. Okay, so I'm going to break up a little bit now. Okay, you want that ooziness to come out as you're biting through that, you just want that stringiness of the cheese to come out. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Alright, so I'm just breaking that last bit up. You can chop it up if you want to. If you want to be dignified, you can chop it up, or you can break it up. It doesn't matter. It's going to go in one place. Alright, so here we go. So mixing that in. And that smells delicious. I mean, come on, smell that, smell that. Alright, so we're going to come back in a little while. I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so while you were away, I added 1 clove of garlic. So that, I just grated that in. I'm also going to add just a sprig of thyme in there, just because it's Caribbean. Okay, and then for the spicy kick, I'm going to use some Scotch bonnet pepper. Just a tiny, weeny little bit here, as you can see on my knife. That's all I'm going to put in. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of nutmeg to that. And I've reserved some cheese for the topping. I'm just going to pour this on. Okay, just going to pour this on.